We are back. This is Ryan Moon on Parlay News, where we are covering the hottest sports prediction markets on Kalshi this week. Our show today is about why betting on Scottie Scheffler at the Genesis Invitational might be a trap, and why Collin Morikawa could be the smarter play to win it all. You clean and normalize a podcast script for TTS processing. Can you really call yourself the best player in the world if you're only winning 1 out of every 10 tournaments you enter? That's not a philosophical question. That's math. And it's the exact situation Scottie Scheffler walks into this week at the Genesis Invitational, where $10 million in prediction market volume is screaming one message. Everyone thinks the world number 1 is going to win at Riviera Country Club. The public has dumped over $2 million into Scheffler's market alone. The traditional sports books have him at plus 330. The narrative is locked in. Scottie's the guy. Case closed. Except here's what nobody's talking about. In a 72-player field with 18 of the top 20 players in the world, even the best golfer on planet Earth has maybe a 10% chance of actually winning. Maybe 12 if we're being generous. Which means there's an 88 to 90% chance that someone else hoists the trophy Sunday night. And when I look at where the smart money should be flowing, I see a massive structural opportunity that everyone's missing because they're too busy worshipping at the altar of recent form. Let me paint the scene. Riviera Country Club is hosting its 100th playing this week. This is Ben Hogan's spiritual home. This is the course that humbled Tiger Woods for years before he finally conquered it. This is golf history with a $20 million purse and 700 FedEx Cup points on the line. The fairways are tight. The Kikuyu rough is jail. The greens are small, firm, and breaking in ways that make grown men question their career choices. And this year the tour decided to stretch the par 3 fourth hole to 275 yards, which is basically a par 4 wearing a par 3 costume and hoping nobody notices. Rory McIlroy called it a horrible change. Not challenging, not interesting, horrible. When a guy who hits the ball 9 miles is calling a hole horrible, you know things have gotten spicy. That tells you everything about the chaos this hole is injecting into the tournament. One gust of wind, one slightly heavy strike with a hybrid into that green, and you're making double bogey while your entire week circles the drain. That's variance. That's randomness. That's kryptonite for favourites who win by avoiding mistakes. Now let's talk about why Scheffler is the favourite, because I'm not here to tell you he's bad. He's phenomenal. He's already won once this season. He's posted back-to-back top 4 finishes at Phoenix and Pebble Beach. His ball striking is surgical. His course management is textbook. Riviera rewards exactly what he does best. Hit fairways, hit greens, make pars, sprinkle in birdies, don't implode. If golf were played by robots, Scheffler would win every time. But golf isn't played by robots. It's played by humans with egos and scar tissue and putters that go cold at the worst possible moments. Think of it like this. Betting on Scheffler at these odds is like putting your entire portfolio into one stock because the chart looks good. Sure, it might moon, but you're ignoring everything else that could happen. And when you're asking me to bet on Scheffler at a price that implies he's got a 12 to 15% chance of winning, I'm doing the math and realizing I'm paying a premium just to say I backed the favorite. That's not value. That's a donation to the public money bonfire.
Building a new product? Temez Labs takes you from napkin sketch to the App Store. Trusted by Fortune 500s for quality, security, and speed. Book your free strategy session at temez.ai.
Here's who I'm actually interested in, Collin Morikawa. The market's got him priced around 4 to 5% implied odds. Traditional books have him at plus 3,500. And the thing nobody's emphasizing enough is that Morikawa just won Pebble Beach, not played well at Pebble Beach. Won, against another stacked field on another demanding California coastal course that requires the exact same skill set as Riviera. Morikawa's iron play is arguably better than Scheffler's. His approach game is elite. His course management is patient. The only question mark is his putter, which has been streaky over his career. But at Riviera, where ball striking is 70% of the battle, I'll take the guy who just proved he's in peak form and fits the course perfectly. If Morikawa's putter is even neutral this week, he's got a legitimate 6 to 7% chance of winning. That's value. That's where I'm putting money. And then there's Rory, world number 2, the guy with all the physical tools and all the psychological baggage. He's like that friend who's incredibly talented but always finds new and creative ways to fumble at the finish line. He's coming off a closing 64 at Pebble Beach that showed the putter might be heating up. He's got the power to handle the absurd fourth hole. He's got the iron play to attack Riviera's small greens. But he's also the guy who's been publicly complaining about the course setup, which tells me he's already building his excuse fortress. And when elite players are worried about a specific challenge, it often becomes the thing that defeats them. It's like announcing to everyone which boss level you're scared of. Rory's priced as the clear second favourite, probably 6 to 8% implied odds. I think his true win probability is right in that range, maybe slightly below. But here's why I'd still take a small piece. If you believe the fourth hole chaos benefits explosive players who can birdie it when they're locked in, Rory's your guy. His ceiling is higher than anyone's in this field. His floor is also lower. That's the bet you're making. Hideki Matsuyama is the other name I'm circling. He's the last player to win the Genesis at Riviera. He knows this course like you know your favourite meme stock ticker. He understands where to miss, how the greens break, which holes to attack. He's probably priced around 3 to 4% implied, and I'd put his true odds closer to 4 to 5. That's not massive value, but it's enough to throw a dart. Here's the structural play that actually makes sense. Fade Scheffler's individual market and build a portfolio. Take Morikawa at 6 to 7% true odds when he's priced at 4 to 5. Take McIlroy at 6 to 7% true odds when he's priced at 6 to 8. Take Matsuyama at 4 to 5% true odds when he's priced at 3 to 4. Maybe add Xander Schauffele or Tommy Fleetwood as a deeper long shot. What you've done is bet on the 88 to 90% scenario where someone other than Scheffler wins, while concentrating your exposure on the guys most likely to actually do it. This is how you beat prediction markets in golf. You don't chase the favorite because his name is familiar and his recent results are shiny. You do the math. You identify where the public is overweighting one outcome and underweighting the alternatives. You build a diversified portfolio that captures the most likely paths to victory while avoiding the overpriced consensus. It's literally the same logic as not going all in on whatever ticker is trending on social media. Diversification isn't just for your stock portfolio.
Oh, hey friend, do you like what you're hearing? Now you can have a ridiculously amazing podcast too. Check out holler.studio to get yourself one today.
Because here's what this tournament is really about. It's a proving ground. Scheffler needs to show he can dominate elite fields at golf's most demanding venues. Rory needs to prove he can conquer a course he's publicly criticised and beat Scheffler head-to-head. Morikawa needs to prove his Pebble Beach win wasn't a fluke and that his putter can hold up under pressure. Matsuyama needs to prove his Riviera expertise still matters in a redesigned setup that's frustrating everyone. And we need to prove we're smart enough to recognise when a favourite is correctly identified but incorrectly priced. The market's telling you Scheffler is the best player. I'm telling you that doesn't mean you should bet on him at these odds. In a field this stacked, at a course this unforgiving, with a chaos injection hole that can wreck anyone's round, the value is in the field. The value is in precision over consistency. The value is in recognizing that even the best player in the world is still just one player in a 72-player field. So can you really call yourself the best player in the world if you're only winning 1 out of every 10 tournaments? Absolutely. That's what dominance looks like in modern golf. But can you justify betting on that player when the market's pricing him like he's got a 15% chance instead of 10? That's a different question entirely. And the answer is no. The answer is you take your money, you spread it across Morikawa and McIlroy and Matsuyama, and you bet on the overwhelming likelihood that someone other than the favourite finds a way to navigate Riviera's chaos and claim their piece of golf history. That's the sharp play. That's where the value lives. And that's how you win at prediction markets when everyone else is too busy betting on names instead of numbers. Thanks for listening to Parlay News. You can support our podcast by following the show, rating it 5 stars, and telling your friends. Remember, the content on this podcast is for entertainment and educational purposes only, and do not constitute financial advice. Prediction markets are extremely risky, and you should never play with more money than you are willing to lose. Always do your own research. Catch you on the flip.
Grep News. Tamez.